Hello, my name is Zach Westbrook, and this is my presentation on the new Nolan Ryan Sports Facility in Kingsville, Texas. So, brief introduction. The proposed project is a multi-purpose recreational facility in Kingsville, Texas. It is designed to serve residents of all ages and backgrounds. The facility will act as a central hub for health, wellness, and community engagement. Amenities will include indoor gymnasiums, which we'll dive into more into detail, fitness rooms, outdoor multi-use fields, meeting rooms, and event spaces. This project aims to promote active lifestyles, inclusive programming, and year-round recreational access. The project responds to community needs for centralized, accessible recreational services, and it represents a long-term investment in Kingsville's physical, social, and economic future. So, some rationale for the project. A new facility will attract guests from neighboring cities like Corpus and Bishop and just some of the smaller towns that are around here. This new facility can definitely bring in people looking for a place to train or get their exercise in. It'll address public health and wellness for all ages. It's a powerful youth engagement tool with things like youth sporting events and weekend camps. It's a generation It'll generate lasting benefits for the community by offering part-time and full-time jobs for people, and it aligns with broader community development goals like accessible facilities for people of all different types of walks of life. The project objectives. This facility is designed to meet a diverse range of community needs. It will promote holistic health and wellness. It will provide structured, accessible opportunities for youth development through athletics. It will ensure equitable access to recreation, which is central to the mission of the facility. Beyond recreation and health, the facility will serve as a social anchor for the community. Economically speaking, the athletic facility will generate tangible benefits for Kingsville, and sustainability is a guiding principle in the project's long-term vision. The design proposals. This is guided by the need to balance functionality, accessibility, flexibility, and community identity. The main room of the facility will be a large climate-controlled indoor sports complex, which will house a full-size gymnasium with multiple courts. What we're looking at here is two basketball courts, which can be divided in half each to create four half courts. This is good for things like basketball, indoor pickleball, volleyball, futsal, and indoor soccer. On the outdoors, the facility will feature two multi-use athletic fields. To support operational efficiency and enhance the visitor experience, the facility will also be equipped with modern amenities. Sustainability and environmental stewardship will also play a central role in the facility's design proposals, and the architectural character of the facility will reflect the cultural identity and spirit of Kingsville. Here is a brief space description. At the heart of the indoor facility will be the main gymnasium, occupying roughly 12,000 feet. This will be the two basketball gyms that can also be divided up into four half courts. Adjacent to the gymnasium will be a fitness and weight training center encompassing approximately 4,000 to 5,000 square feet. This will have your squat racks, your benches, your dumbbells, your stretching room, some cable machines, just your typical weight room. To support health, education, and flexible programming, there will be a suite of multi-use classrooms and meeting rooms. Here we can do things like assisted stretching, meetings on health, and yoga classes. There will be two full-size multi-use sports fields around approximately 360 by 160 feet out back. Those will be huge for hosting events at the facility like youth football games, youth soccer games, and just youth camps. The facility will dedicate 1,000 to 1,200 square feet for a child watch and youth activity area. Essential support spaces such as locker rooms, restrooms, staff offices, storage rooms, and a lobby and reception area will also occupy an additional 7,000 to 8,000 square feet. The facility will also include a track, which is approximately 1/10 of a mile, and it will be circling the entire facility. So here's a brief space description to visualize. So down here will be the entrance. Here's the reception and the lobby area. Here you'll check in with the receptionist, scan your card, make sure your membership, everything's working right. Here we have our multi-purpose rooms and a meeting suite. Here we can do things like teach class on health and wellness, teach class on nutrition, teach class on stretching and flexibility. We have our staff offices and our admin. This is where the employees can take breaks or where they can get their work done before they go into work on the floor. We have locker rooms and restrooms, just your typical facility locker rooms and restrooms. This is the main gymnasium right here. This will be 2 full-size basketball courts, which will have adjustable basketball goals. We'll have volleyball nets that we can put out. We'll have pickleball nets that we can put out. And then there will also be screen dividers that can be used to drop down from the ceiling and cut the courts in half in case we need multiple events going on at one time. Down here we have up here we have group fitness studio, fitness center, and child watch and youth area. The group fitness studio and the fitness center, basically another just 2 built classrooms where we can teach people certain things on stretching and whatnot. And then the child watch and youth area is good for busy parents who have children, but they still need to get their exercise in, so they can drop their kids off here while they work out or do what they need to do. And then the track will be encircling this whole indoor area. It is approximately 1/10 of a mile. Now when we go outside, we'll have our first multi-use field, 360 by 160 feet. It's going to be turf. Right next to it, we'll have our second one, same dimensions, also turf. Down here, we have a covered pavilion. People can do fitness circuits out here as well as just rest and get out of the sun while maybe the children are playing in the turf. We'll have our ADA approved playground and recreation area, which will be about 4,000 square feet, and then our parking lot, which will hold about 150 to 200 cars. It includes electric vehicle charging stations, bike racks, ADA approved spots, and drop off. Now for the funding strategies. So there's multiple ways that we can go about this. We can start off with public sector contributions. This will be things like municipal allocations, county development funds, and potential state level support. Another way that we could go about funding, the city could allocate a portion of its capital improvement budget. We could also get money through seeking voter approved bonds. State and federal grants could also offer more funding opportunities. We could also contribute private donations and philanthropic contributions, institutional partnerships, and then after the facility has been running and successful for several months to a year, we could then begin using revenue generation through membership fees, facility rentals for teams and events, program registrations, and concessions sold throughout the season. So let's talk about the budget. How much is all this going to cost? So we're looking at a total estimated budget of $18 to $22 million. And while that looks like a lot, you got to understand, first of all, that land is very expensive right now. For a facility this size, we're going to need a lot of land. So we're looking at $1.2 to $1.5 million just on land acquisition. But that also goes into site preparation, so demoing the land and getting it ready for the facility. Building construction is going to be about 10 to 12 million. The outdoor facilities, so that's going to be the turf fields, the pavilion, 2.5 to 3 mil. Parking and site infrastructures will be 1.1 to 1.5 million. Furnishing, fixture, and equipment. So this is going to be couches for the lounge area, desks and chairs for the meeting rooms, weight room equipment, sports equipment for all different of the sports that we're going to offer. This is going to be about $1.5 to $2 million. Professional services will be 1.2 to 1.5 million. Contingency fund is 1 to 1.5. So we're looking at a grand total of 18 to 22 million. And the project schedule. So the pre-development phase, we're looking at about 3 to 6 months. So this is just figuring out who we're going to hire to build the facility. We got to find employees to work the facility when it opens. We have to figure out where we're going to get all of our equipment. We have to figure out what kind of events we're going to host. So this is all things that will be accounted for in the pre-development phase. The design phase will be the blueprints and figuring out what we're going to do with the land and how the facility is going to work and how the spaces will flow into one another to optimize efficiency. The construction phase, so this is the manual labor portion. This is going to take about 12 to 14 months. So this is going to be constructing the facility, laying the turf, building the weight rooms, laying the hardwood for the gym floors, just all of the manual labor that goes into it. Testing commissions and final inspections, this will be 2 to 3 months. This is just to make sure that everything's ready to go, because the last thing we need is a hazard as soon as we open up. And then we have the grand opening and the operational phase. This will take about 1 month. So the grand opening and operational phase will be just the first month of figuring out how it's all going to run and using that to build a plan for the future. And that is my project. Thank you.